Alright, this video is part 4 in our series reviewing polynomials. In this video we will focus on using the terminology of polynomials, standard form, leading coefficient, constant, classifying, that type of thing. And also we will add, subtract, and multiply polynomial functions. Alright, so in problem number 10, first we are supposed to write this polynomial in standard form. In standard form, we need the higher degree terms to come first. So the highest degree term is this one. So that has to come first. The sign comes with it. So this should be f of x equals negative 2x to the third power. And then the positive, so plus 7x squared is the next higher degree. And then the constant comes last. So there's your standard form. Now, when we name things by degree, I'm going to go ahead and do this one right here. It goes like this. Okay, naming by degree. Alright, if the degree is 0, then we call that constant. Okay, if the degree is 1, then that's linear. If the degree is 2, we call that quadratic. If the degree is 3, we call that cubic. If the degree is 4, we call that quartic. And if the degree is 5, we call that quintic. Okay? And when I talk about the degree, I'm talking about power. So just a couple quick examples. A constant would just be a number, like negative 5. Linear would be a term that just had x in it, like for example 2x minus 5. Quadratic, it would have x squared in it. For example, 3x squared plus 2x minus 5. Cubic is going to have x to the third power. So if I had x to the third power plus 2x minus 5, that would be cubic. Quartic is going to have that fourth power. So if I had 2x to the fourth power plus 3x squared minus 5, that would be quartic. And quintic would have the fifth power. So if I had x to the fifth power minus 2x plus 5, that would be quintic. Alright, so that's how the naming works by degree. So this is degree 3, so this is cubic. Alright, but you need to memorize this naming system. You just have to study it, commit it to memory. Now, the leading coefficient, once you put it in standard form, the leading coefficient will be the coefficient in the front. So the leading coefficient of this problem is negative 2. Negative 2. The constant term is the one with no variable. So the constant is 5. And now, naming by the number of terms. Well, this list is much simpler. Alright, it's a shorter list. Alright, number of terms. And then we're talking about the name. Oh. Okay, well, if there's one term, that's going to be a monomial. Alright, you can see the root mono meaning 1. If there are 2 terms, then we call that a binomial. Alright, the root bi meaning 2. And if you have 3 terms, that's going to be called a trinomial. You see the root tri meaning 3. Anything more than 3 terms, we just go with the general term polynomial. the root poly meaning many. But please understand that all of these are actually polynomials. Even if it has one term, two terms, three terms, those are polynomials as well. So this is sort of an umbrella term. Okay, so just for example, so let's just squeeze them right in here. So a monomial, like if I had 3x squared, that would be a monomial, one term. Okay, if I had 3x squared plus 5, now that's a binomial. If I had 3x squared plus 5x minus 2, that's a trinomial. And anything else after that, if I had x to the third power plus 3x squared plus 5x minus 2, we have no special name for that. We've got to go with polynomial at that point. Okay, so looking back at this one, it has 3 terms, so that is a trinomial. Okay, and please note we could put those two together, cubic trinomial, and we could just call this thing a cubic trinomial. Alright, so that's the classification system. Memorize that. Okay, so now we're going to do some operations. We're going to add, subtract, and multiply polynomial functions. So in number 11, we have to do function f minus function g. Just be careful when you do this, because you're going to want to put these in parentheses. Okay, so function f is the 3x squared minus 6x plus 2. So I'll go 3x squared minus 6x plus 2, but please put that in parentheses. Okay, and then we have minus, and then we have function g, and again put this in parentheses. So this will be negative 5x plus 6. Now this is especially important when you have a negative in front of parentheses, because you need to treat it like a -1, and you need to do the distributive property. So -1 times -5 is positive 5, so positive 5x, and -1 times positive 6 is -6. So you need to do that. Now function f here, there's nothing in front of the parentheses, so nothing to distribute, so I'll just take away the parentheses. Alright, after that it's just a matter of like terms. We want our answer in standard form, so start with the highest degree term. So I'm looking at the 3x squared here, and there's no x squared term to combine it with, so I'm just going to bring it down. So there's my 3x squared. Okay, next I will look at the linear term, so negative x, and we have another linear term, positive 5x. If we put those together, then that's going to make negative 1x, or just negative x. Okay, next we'll look at the constant term, and we have 2 of those, so positive 2, negative 6. Let's put those together, and that will make negative 4. So this would be the difference. Alright, in number 12 we have function g times function f. So here's function g and here's function f, and we're going to multiply. So that really just means we are going to do the distributive property twice. So I'm going to start with the negative 5x, and I'm going to multiply that by everything. Okay, so negative 5x times 3x squared. So that'll make negative 15x to the third power. Then negative 5x times negative 6x, that's going to make positive 30x squared. Negative 5x times 2 is going to make negative 10x. Okay, so we did that. Next, we will distribute the 6 to everything. Alright, so 6 times 3x squared is 18x squared. And you can notice how I'm going to line that up with the like terms. And 6 times negative 6x is negative 36x. So negative 36x like terms together. And then 6 times 2 is 12, so plus 12. Now we can go ahead and combine these like terms. Okay, so that's going to look like this. Negative 15x to the third power is just going to come down. And then 30 plus 18 is 48. And negative 46x and positive 12 comes down. So this would be your answer for number 12. I'm going to go ahead and stop this video here, and we will pick up the next video as we go into solving these polynomial equations.